In this video, I'm going to outline what you need to do for the Edexcel English language paper, the question on Of Mice and Men, part A and B. There are other novels that other schools could have been studying, so don't let that confuse you. Your question on Of Mice and Men is there. I'm pretty sure it's question 5, so turn to that question. And then the first thing I would do is read the question through so you know what to focus on in the extract. Part A is worth 16 marks. The question will always be worded like this: explore how the language in the extract influences the reader's view of, and then it might give you a character's name or a relationship or a setting that you're seeing or a key event that's happening. When you've got your focus, then you should read the extract with a highlighter in your hand, ready to start picking out some interesting words, adjectives, adverbs, strong words, maybe some figurative language like similes and metaphors, things that you can comment on using point, evidence, explain. And in terms of what you're actually seeing, you could comment on the things that are said, what characters are wearing, how they interact with each other, how they move, what the environment is like. They're the kinds of things you're looking for. Because the question is quite wordy, how does the language influence the reader's view? I'll try and make that clearer with 3 questions. What do I see happening? Which words or phrases are used? And how do I feel as a result of that? How am I being influenced? And with the things that you've highlighted, I would now try to pick out the best 4 or 5 language features that have most influenced you as the reader, that have had an impact on your view, and use them as point, evidence, explains. And then in those quotes, pick out individual words that also have a real effect on you. At the end of each paragraph, you need to read through what you've written and check that you are focused on the question, check that you have used a quote, and check that you have mentioned Steinbeck and the effect on the reader. And then you need to move on to part B, which is going to be along a similar idea or theme or character that part A was, and it will be worded, explore how the writer presents, and then it will give you that idea from part A in one other part of the novel. You need to choose that part. You need to know where to turn in the book, so you need to choose the best place that's going to allow you to comment on that idea. So again, in order to try and clarify the question, I would ask myself, what happens in this extract? What do I see happening? Which words or phrases has Steinbeck used? And how does that influence me then? When you've actually found the general place in the novel that you want, I would try to slim that down to an extract that's similar length to the one that you're given in part A. And then as you read, you do what you did for part A, highlight language features. This time you're going to need a few more because it's worth more marks. And again, at the end of each paragraph, you need to read through what you've written to check that you are focused on the question. If you haven't used a quote, you must add one. And just check that you've mentioned Steinbeck and the effect on the reader. A couple of ways you can prepare for this is by making sure you know the novel really well, so rereading Of Mice and Men. You can open the book at a random page, give yourself 5 minutes to read it, and pick out 5 language features that you could use as point, evidence, explains. You could write down all the key events or characters and big ideas in the book and pair them up with others, so that almost as though you're looking for the part B to go with the part A. And you can test how well you know the book by turning to key places and then timing yourself to find another place in the novel with a similar theme.